It doesn't look like a war. No explosions, no declarations, no clear sides. And that's exactly why most people don't see it. Because the real currency conflict isn't loud, it's embedded, hidden inside trade deals, buried in policy decisions, quietly unfolding in how nations move money. Pause. You've been told currencies compete through exchange rates, dollar versus euro, yuan versus yen. But that's surface level. That's what you're meant to see asterisk. The real conflict? It's about something deeper. Control. Not of money itself, but of the system that makes money necessary. Short line. Currencies don't fight directly. Systems do. Let's go deeper. For decades, one system dominated global finance. If you wanted to trade internationally, you used the dollar. If you needed energy, you used the dollar. If you held reserves, you held dollars. It wasn't just a currency, it was infrastructure, built into everything. And when something becomes infrastructure, it becomes invisible, because nobody questions what they depend on. Now here's where the conflict begins. Countries are no longer asking, how do we operate inside this system? They're asking, how do we reduce reliance on it? That's a completely different mindset. And mindset shifts create system shifts. Short interruption. You don't destroy dominance. You make it optional. That's what's happening right now. Not a collapse, a diversification, trade agreements in local currencies, energy deals outside traditional channels, new payment systems bypassing old networks. Each move looks small, individually insignificant, but together they form direction. And direction is what changes power. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. The dollar doesn't lose power when it weakens. It loses power when it's used asterisk less asterisk. That's it. No drama. No sudden event. Just gradual reduction in necessity. And necessity is everything. Let's layer this deeper. Why would countries want alternatives? Control. If your economy depends on a system you don't control, you're exposed to policy shifts, to sanctions, to external influence. So the strategy becomes simple. Build parallel systems. Short line. Parallel systems create independence, and independence reduces dominance. Now here's the part nobody explains clearly. This isn't a battle with a single winner. There's no new global currency waiting to replace the dollar overnight. That's too simple. What's actually happening is fragmentation. Multiple currencies, multiple systems, multiple centers of influence. That's the new structure. And it's more complex, but also more unstable. Because when power is concentrated, it's predictable. When power is distributed, it shifts faster. Now think about what that means. On one side, people still operating as if nothing has changed. They assume the system is fixed, stable, permanent. They react late. On the other side, people who see the transition. They don't wait for confirmation. They watch behavior, track where trade flows, where reserves move, where systems are being built. They understand something critical. Short line. The system you rely on can evolve without asking you. Now let's interrupt that thought. This isn't about panic. It's about clarity. Because the biggest risk isn't that the system changes. It's that you don't notice it while it does. And by the time it's obvious, your position is already affected. Higher costs, different opportunities, shifting stability. Not because something broke, but because something asterisk shifted asterisk. Now bring it back to the core idea. The currency conflict isn't about which currency wins. It's about who controls the asterisk rules asterisk of exchange, who defines how value moves, who sets the terms of trade, who builds the systems others must use. That's where real power lives. And that's where the conflict is happening. Quietly, strategically, right now. So the next time you hear about currencies rising or falling, don't stop there. Ask a better question. Is the system itself changing? Because if it is, then you're not just watching a market move, you're watching a shift in power. And those shifts don't announce themselves. They unfold, slowly, then all at once. If this changed your perspective, subscribe, because the next video might help you see the system before it changes your position within it.